You're such an asshole.
Ugh. Oh, I should have did late night Cappy. That's what I should have done. Darn it. Hello, Mr. Asshole. Military discount appreciated. How much for a YouTube video on you drawing on your traveling experience across the United States to lay out a list of genuinely reliable indicators of an area's culture and vibe? When you enter a new town, city, state, etc., what do you recommend keeping an eye on to indicate what you can expect to experience there? For example, for my travels, I found that the average speed limit on the interstate in any given state will tell me how on the ball people there generally are. The lower the limit, the more aggravatingly slow the people in general will be. The proportion of shopping carts in a big store corrals versus those just strewn about the parking lots will tell me whether the people in the area are generally selfish or willing to help their communities. Indicators like this that you found reliable in your travels would be appreciated. Next year, I'm going to start seriously searching for where I want to set myself up in the U.S. till death. I don't know why you would choose South Dakota. Well, I admit it's not for everyone, obviously. I mean, your average person would probably enjoy Texas or Florida, maybe Tennessee a lot more. Most of South Dakota is very boring. There's I mean, some places just nothing. I mean, there's nothing. I'm in a very small part of South Dakota that has mountains and stuff, and there really ain't any jobs here unless you're a doctor or you work tourist season. So I mean, there's reasons, but I can understand why you're like, what the hell's in South Dakota? If you're a young person, you need a physical job. Not a lot for you. I'll tell you that. What do you like? Cattle? They got cattle ranches. You go. Would you like shoveling poo? From my limited experience with the Great Plains, they're an unfortunate necessary day of travel to put up with on the way to somewhere fun. You have a lot more experience with this than I do, so I'd like to hear your thoughts. Thanks, John. So, all right, I had to think about this. And whereas your observation about the speed limit or things like that, or carts, you're not wrong. I kind of sat and said, what did I observe when I was living in the sister fucking state of Wyoming? When have I gone into town where I'm like, something ain't right? What did I observe about the people? And so I'll just kind of go through what I came up with. All right, first the Walmarts, if they have them. Like, go into the Walmart. I never knew about the people of Walmart, right? You saw it on the internet. But the Walmarts, at least in the Twin Cities, were relatively clean. You know, I never saw that. And then I went to Casper, Wyoming. I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is where these people are. And a lot of you wouldn't even think Casper, Wyoming. You wouldn't give it a second thought. Like, Wyoming, what, I'm never going to go there. And you're not wrong in that decision. But you get there, and even though and here's the funny thing, you think, ooh, a bad part of town. You mean like Chicago or Baltimore? Yeah, and Casper. There are some small little towns or big towns. Casper's, I think, 60,000 people, where that meth and drugs is getting all over. I tell the story. I forget the name of the town. It's in eastern Kentucky. Who dang. And the come on, honest to God, just do what I want you to do. What the gas pumps weren't working. Like, the readers weren't working, the receipts weren't printing out because they weren't maintaining the gas pumps. And people were driving slow. It was the town starts with a C, and it's where the original Kentucky Fried Chicken is. I got off the interstate. I could already tell people are operating at half gas there. I get to Kentucky Fried Chicken. There's a line, understandably, and they're talking because they all know each other. Like, to the checkout clerk, the line ain't moving. Little bit slow. And then when I got to the gas station you could see the pumps were out. The light was on. And I'm like, I can't afford to break down here. I need to get my gas and get the fuck out of here. Like, this area. Because I'm sure the Houdang continued on. Some even know the town of Colomine, something like that. And I'm like, yep. And it's not that the people, they weren't mean or anything, but you're dealing with a low IQ population where if I break down, it's going to be like Doc Hollywood, where you just stuck because Jessup didn't get the parts right. It's that. So the Walmart, go to the Walmart, look around. You got the hoodangs, you got people on rascals. It's not the worst indication, but it's a start. It's a start. Another thing I noticed is junk in the back of people's cars, either because they are dirty and they don't clean out their cars, or more commonly, they're living in their cars or their trucks. Now, my cars and vehicles aren't spotless. Yes, I probably have a receipt in there from a week ago. I'm talking, you can't see through their back window because they got blankets and beanie babies and shit all populated in there. You look into the back seat, there's like blankets and shit and boxes and clothes hampers. That's another bad sign. Obviously homelessness and panhandlers or tents. That's I mean, there's always going to be poor people, right? I get that. It's whether it's legal in that town, you'll find out quickly. And so if I see homelessness or panhandlers, I'm like, no, not buying in this town. We might rent. I'll rent the next town over, but I'm not dealing with homelessness. That's more of a statement of the city that you're in or the municipality. Another one. How maintained are the houses and the yards of the houses? Are they mowed? Are they grown over? Are houses that need, is there a fresh coat of paint on the house, or is it all chiseled and flecking off? Do you have old beaters in your front? And New Mexico is notorious for this. They just leave all the shit out in their front yard because it's the New Mexico way. Because I guess old Mexico wasn't shitty enough. I remember first time driving through New Mexico, I'm like, do people pick up this shit? What the hell is going on? And if you're in New Mexico, no, they don't. And you see in a common refrain here, common theme. How responsible are the people? Are you fat? Do you let yourself go? Do you leave all your shit in your Buick Regal? What about the Chevy Cavalier, Pontiac Sunfires? Oh, those, man. Billions of women lived out of the back of their Chevy Cavaliers and the Sunfires and the aughts. Back in my day. God, I should have known. You should have ruled, guys. Never date a girl with a Sunfire or a Chevy Cavalier. But those are all long gone. I wish someone like me told me that 15 years ago. The smell of pot. Cappy, come on, man. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, do it. No, if I smell pot out in public, bad sign. Whether it's legal or not. If it's illegal, that makes it even worse. But I do not, the smell of pot, no. Then kids. By kids, I mean kids, but also young adults. There's this refugee, not even refugee. That's an insult to refugees. It looks like they're refugees, but they're not. They're wearing, it's like they wore their pajamas and they just put on sandals over their socks with the hood, and they're wearing the hood up. That shit. Am I aware that I'm an old man and it's like those kids these days with their sandals and their socks? Yes, but it does correlate with just like, man, I'm also, coincidentally, I never saw that in like, say, Scottsdale. There's a whole other group of assholes in Scottsdale, but they're not the type to rob my car. Not saying that somebody wears sandals into Walmart with socks on is going to rob my car, but I'm looking around and I'm like, yeah, I see these people, I smell pot, and I see graffiti. Have I ever been attacked or even bothered by some kid wearing sweatpants or with his sandals and his socks? No, but I don't think they're the violent type. I think they're just deadbeat loser kids who are probably high or drunk. They don't seem the aggressive type. I just look kind of like, yeah, probably not a lot of job opportunities where I am. Probably a lot of bored kids doing bored things here. And that's another one. Litter. Is there litter around? Do I see litter all over the place? I saw that a lot by SeaTac. 7-Elevens is another. I don't trust 7-Elevens unless you're in a foreign country, and then that's different. But if I see 7-Elevens, you're just like, no, I'm not buying property, and I'm not buying property within a 50-mile radius of a 7-Eleven. I don't know why. I went to the 7-Eleven by SeaTac. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? We are far away from Seattle. Is the filth everywhere what is if we're on this side of the Cascades? It's just filth from the border with Canada down to Salem, Oregon, because we got a loop in Portland. It's all filth all the time. The Filth Peninsula. What was I targeted? Yeah, it was just litter all over. And so if you see people throwing their the wrappers on the ground, things are blown away, no one's picking it up. There's a ton you can't avoid litter. A lot of times something blows away from your hand. I understand that. Do the people pick up after themselves? Or is their actual land littered with litter? I talked about unkempt properties. Tattoos and hair color. Kind of like the kids with their sweatpants on and the socks with the sandals. I look for kind of like woke people in public, you know? If there's a group of people with purple hair, I'm not talking punk rocker kids from the 80s. I'm not talking them. I'm talking like what you see on the internet. Again, they're not violent until you get a group of them. Then they're called Antifa. Then they are violent. But I look at that. No. It's again it's not even like you feel threatened. It's not a dangerous thing. It's just like this is a shitty town. This is just I'm gonna imagine there's something wrong. And I would provide a caveat. If you're near a college campus, okay, that makes sense. But when you're not, you're like, what the fuck are you people doing? Yeah, and then I'll give you a perfect example of that also from the Pacific Northwest, Tacoma. Holy place where loser Gen Xers go to die, Batman. Tacoma should just be the capital city of loser Gen Xers. I saw nothing but piercings and tattoos and more tattoos. They put tattoos on the piercings, they put piercings on the tattoos, and ridiculous hair colors. And so it is so I don't want to hear any fucking bullshit from you people. Not my audience. I'm talking you people with your fucking ridiculous hair colors and tattoos and all. Oh, look at you, Square Lord. Hey, shut the fuck up. I need a bailout for my student loan degree, people. It's over. You're not fucking edgy. You look like fucking morons. Probably are morons too. I'm so sick and tired. Oh, lose Square. No, you're the Square. You guys are corporate. You guys are doing exactly what the corporations told you. You guys are part of the government. You guys are the conformists. Those of us who don't have our dicks tattooed and piercings in our elbows and decided to have a normal hair color and get a job. We're the edgy ones. Yeah, go check out Tacoma, man. It's just like, wow, fuck. Like you came out here in 93 thinking it was cool. You never fucking left. A shit ton of bumper stickers. All right. You're obviously leftist ones. You don't really see a shit ton of right leaning, but yeah, occasionally you see it. When you see a shit ton of bumper stickers, you're now in a very liberal leftist area, right? And they all say the same thing. And that means they're voting pro-crime, anti-work, anti-self-defense, anti-safety, anti-cop. Like that. You're in the hippie neighborhood. I don't know if Soho's like this, but I'd imagine a lot of San Francisco is like this. The uptown part of the Twin Cities was like this. You're just in the area. And there I'd be a little bit more worried than someone with, say, just purple hair. There you start getting into some angry leftists. You start to get into the type that want to fight. A lot of times they're on drugs. I don't know why I say it, but it was what I experienced. For example, in Chicago, you got Boys Town, gay community neighborhood. You're fine. People actually have a good time. Then I forget which neighborhood I was, but you're in the grungy, pissed off, anarcho-Marxist types where they're pissed off that other people have it better than them, that other people worked harder than them, and then Gajin just shit out glow bricks from the sky for them. That's where you get some, I don't know how to, more gutter punk. No, there's a difference between some pot smoking hippie and then gutter punk criminal who's going to fight you because they got nothing else to lose. If that's a delineation. And when you see just a bunch of unmaintained cars with this shit ton of bumper stickers, you're in that neighborhood. Or somewhere nearby is where the gutter punk kids are hanging out and they'll fucking knife you. Oh, they'll be, oh yeah, we're Democrat and socialist, but that's where your knifing and your shanking comes. Truck nuts. All right. Your liberal bumper stickers will be in the major metro areas. He's like, well, then it's safe in the red states. Cannot emphasize enough meth. I cannot emphasize enough. You looking at my girl? Hit culture is real. Trailer trash culture is real. And generally, again, doesn't mean you're in the worst part of the world. Doesn't mean the guy with the truck nuts he's probably going to leave you alone, but you have now entered a lower class of civilization. You are now dealing with poor people who are maybe not more inclined to commit crime, though I'd argue that, but they're going to fight. You're looking at more alcoholism, more definitely meth. God, man, there's something about, and it's just Wyoming that's coming to mind. I don't know. This didn't ever happen to me any other place, but the classic, you looking at my woman, or guys getting pissed off because I was teaching dance classes and their wives were in the course. And I even asked the wives, like, well, do you have a dance partner? No. I'm like, well, why not? Well, my husband didn't want to come with. I'm like, oh, well, where's he? Well, he's sitting over there. I'm like, why isn't he dancing with you then? And these guys are all giving me the stink. I mean, really, they treat their women like cattle out there. Like, and the girls don't even know they're dating. I like Thelma Lou. You don't talk to Thelma Lou. Well, Thelma Lou was making out with some other guy over there that wasn't you. Oh, you are dangly gonna get my pickup nut truck and hit you over the head. By the way, can I have a loan? Said the Wyoming man. What's your business? I make pickup truck nuts. Oh, I hear that's a booming industry out here. That's how you all assess who the alpha male is, right? That's how you assert dominance and form a hierarchy. The biggest truck nuts, I say. And then obviously trailer parks. If you're near trailer parks. I mean, one could also say Section 8 housing, the barrio, the ghetto. I think we all kind of know that, but I'm saying for those of you who are traveling outside major metros and you're like, you don't, it's not like, if I see you're going to Baltimore, it's kind of a known quantity. What do you want to do in Baltimore? You want to leave. Do you want to invest in Baltimore? Hell no. Do you want to buy property in Baltimore? No. Do you really want to have anything to do? Oh, but the Ravens, bro. I wonder how many cars are broken into in a Ravens game. This one. Say, you know what? I don't want to go there. What about Conoco, Oklahoma? Or is it? Yeah, I think it's Conoco. Oh, no, Anaco. I think it's Anaco. You know about that town? What about Rawlins, Wyoming? You know about that town? I'm not saying these are all bad towns, but it's kind of like, oh yeah. I'll give you another example. Billings, Montana. I think it's the biggest town in Montana, and it seemingly is all right on the face of it. But if coal prices or oil prices go down, you're in trouble. I remember when the Bakken oil field didn't collapse. It just, prices went down and a bunch of people got laid off. Dude, there were a ton of homeless fucking drunks in Billings. One year they weren't there. Next year they were. I'm like, what the fuck? I asked about what the hell's it? Oh yeah, the oil prices drop. I'm like, what? They can't catch a bus ride home? The interstate's right there. Well, they didn't save their money. Oh fuck. Yeah, that was different. I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I was in Billings just this past year. I didn't see any homeless. I saw some homeless people, but it wasn't anywhere near as much as that. But yeah, it just, you got, and I guess I would summarize, you got to look at the people. How clean is the town? Now, I'm not saying it's got to be like fucking Edina. Then you go in the other direction. some rich bitch with her fucking Land Rover, Hillary 2016 or whatever the hell, whenever she ran. I mean, there you might get a speeding ticket from a camera because they're just that level of asshole. But yeah, just look around at the people. Look at the property. Look at the grounds. How good are the roads? Do you allow vagrancy? Is everyone dressed like a fucking buffoon with ridiculous hair colors and wearing their pajamas in public? It kind of common sense stuff. And it wouldn't be the worst thing. Here's another one you can do. Go to the library on a cold day. See how many homeless people are there. Do they let homeless into their library? That's another one. But you can assess these things on a small to even sizable town. Go downtown, find a bench, sit, and look for about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe an hour, and you'll have a pretty good read. Or just drive around the town a little bit. You'll have a pretty good read on the people, whether they take pride in themselves and they have an orderly society, and the cops arrest people for smoking pot, which you may disagree with, but at least they're enforcing the law. They don't allow vagrancy or homelessness. Or is it just, oh, hey, man, can I bum some money, man? I'm all out, even though I afforded this pot. And I'll stab you if you don't, although potheads won't do that. Gutter punk would. So, yeah, that's about. I'm trying to think of another town that was kind of. Is it Vladivostok? It's not Vladivostok. It's just outside of L.A. It's where they release a bunch of criminals in California, and you're far away from L.A. You're just off this exit, and there's a river and there's a railroad, and all of a sudden you're like, what the fuck? What is that town? A lot of you are familiar with it. Baker, California. Let me look up that, and I'll figure it out from there. Emo. There's Barstow. You gotta go past Barstow. Victorville. Victorville is the town. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. It ain't a major metro. It ain't all that big, but you walk in like, I need a gun. And you're not wrong. You probably do need a gun. Bars on windows, payday lender on Main Street. You're probably not in pawn shops. Murals. Here's another one. Let me tell you this. If you see murals painted on the side of a building, I don't care if it's New York City. I don't care if it's a rinky-dink town. If you see some fucking mural painted, and not graffiti, a mural. Yeah, it's not a place. That's not a place you want to be. You're not necessarily in any danger at that moment, but yeah, I wouldn't get a hotel there. All right. Link below is my book, Reconnaissance Man. That goes through all the different states in the country and where you may want to live. So you buy a house once. Please read that book so you don't waste your time traveling all across the country. Like, Nebraska. You're like, should I move to Nebraska? No, you should not. Unless you like corn. There's not much in Nebraska. So you can skip and save a lot of money and time not having to evaluate Nebraska. Should I go to Iowa? No, you shouldn't. Lar, 57, $5. Bought a DVD of Die Hard because of you. Thanks, Cappy. It's one badass movie. Good for you. Hazmat Trucker, $2. Tents and panhandlers in every Colorado town. I'll stay in Wyoming. Yeah, Colorado has gotten worse than Wyoming. I'll grant you that. I'd rather go with the hard asses and the drunks in Wyoming than the hippy dippy, dangerous panhandlers in Colorado. Drew, $2. I'm getting out of Denver. Next stop, small town. Drew, $2. Friend of mine got shot. Sign it's time to leave. Yep. Ball Muscle, $5. Aloha atop Aliamanu crater at sunset. 85 degrees. You dick. What are you trying to be, me giving the finger? 85 Fahrenheit, laughing at people stuck in H1, H3. Oh, wait. So are you up on a crater, but you can see the traffic down below? That's got to be an awesome view, man. That's got to be prettier than the view of the sunset. Pull up PR last night, squat PR tomorrow, ride a bike and be wealthy. There you go, man. Good to hear. Drew, $2. Alaska has huge problems with booze and Yeah. Yeah, you think it's just moose and bear. No, It is drunk Hicks. Cappy, why do you carry a gun when you go hiking for mountain lions? Yes, and Hicks. Yes, it's not like the Wyoming show with Kevin Costner, whatever the hell that's called. It's not like they're all polite. These are fucking drunk high meth heads. And they're pissed off. They ain't got no life. They ain't got no jobs. Their women are fat and they're pissed off. And if you're an out of towner, you don't have to be black. But not irrationally. What about Wyoming? I kind of got a job offer out there. I'm like, yeah, well, you're an out of towner, but I'd be an out because they don't recognize you. It's not that you're black necessarily. It's that they don't know your face. So who the fuck are you? You're an out of towner because these towns aren't that big. Like, I'm literally just driving through here, man. Rollins. Everyone should go to Rollins, Wyoming. What are you doing here? I'm getting gas, Jessup. I should fucking do that. Do that. Dude, what are you looking at? Yeah, I'm from out of town. I used to live in Casper, so I know about the Wyoming way. You don't worry, I'm not making off with your Wyoming folk here. They're all unfuckable pigs anyway. Jesus. Apex $5. If you didn't know, I have an opinion about Wyoming. Apex $5. I'm in a small town in Illinois. I make good money. I've been busy. I've been buying properties and cleaning them up, getting ready to build a house. Good for you. Mods, all $2. Minnesota Cappy. Minnesota, a great state. Yep. Yeah, sure. Everyone keep saying, we got good value. You know that Marxist Communist Daily Magazine rated us the number 2 place to live in America? Yeah, they did. We got good schools. We got the seasons. We do there now. And did you know we have the baseball and the football and the sports ball? Hockey too, yeah. I'd say something, but I can't. Can't say it. It would be too true and it hurt too many Minnesotans' fifis. Bull muscle $2. Yep, short walk from you can see half of Oahu. Good to see you. All right, there you go, Bull Muscle. He gives us the finger there. All right, reconnaissance man. I don't think I got a copy of it here. For you young people trying to figure out where to live. All right, that's it. See you guys later, toodles.